Well, unless you've been living under a rock, you know that just a couple days from now is December 25th, also known as Christmas Day. So today on Knicoleknits Under the Influence, we are having holiday happy hour. So why don't you come with me and my special cocktail into the Maker's Lounge, and we will catch up on all things Knicoleknits in general, and we will look at some fun Christmassy knitty things that I have done over time. There are some very cool things that I think you will like, including something that may become a tutorial around the same time next year, because now it's too late. So grab the special beverage cocktail of your choice and join me in the Maker's Lounge, and let's have some holiday yarny makey good times. Alrighty then, here's me and my cocktail. This is, well, first, I just want to charge right in and talk about my cocktail. However, there's perhaps some things I should do first because, there may be some new people here who don't know me. I am Nicole. This is my YouTube vlog podcast thing, whatever you want to call it, my YouTube show called Knicoleknits Under the Influence, and today is episode 9, holiday happy hour. And as I explained in the intro, that is because Christmas is nigh. So I am wearing my Christmas sweater. I'm going to show you some Christmas things, and we're just generally going to have a good time because I know you're sitting around doing absolutely nothing. So all 5 of you who had nothing better to do this week than to sit and watch Knicoleknits Under the Influence. Hi! I think I'm going to find out why hardly anybody posts new content around this time of year. Oh well, what can you do? All right, so as I said, I'm Nicole. I live near Victoria, British Columbia, on Vancouver Island. I live here with my husband equivalent, who is downstairs working in his office right now, and our, kind of mostly delightful dog Oscar, who you will see popping in and out of my videos. He tries to be as helpful as he possibly can. Such a good dog. All right, enough of that. What am I drinking, you want to know? I mean, I know you want to know what I'm wearing, but first let's talk about what I'm drinking. So this is Bailey's espresso, actual espresso, and vodka, shaken over ice. And I'm going to tell you, it's pretty good. So, because I know you're going to ask, I will post a link to the recipe. I got it off All Recipes, so I'm just going to send you the link. You can go right there and get the instructions from All Recipes. It is pretty yummy, I gotta say. In fact, I'm going to have another sip. It's that good. Okay, thank you for indulging me. So let's dive right in to all this fun stuff I've got for you today. First of all, loungewear. Today's loungewear is my Christmas sweater that I knit 2 years ago, and it's called Kelmscott. It is by Carol Sunday and is knit in Anzula for better or worsted. How cute is that? For better or worsted is a merino nylon cashmere blend, just a little touch of 10% cashmere, which makes it very luxe. And this tonal, as you can see, pardon the pilling, merino and cashmere will pill please do not forget this. It does not matter how good a quality it is. Chances are good that it's going to pill. However, it looks gorgeous. And this tonal, this dyed deep red cranberry is just yummy, right? And look at this lace collar. I had this pattern, Kelmscott, I'll put a pic up here, was originally in white. At least the sample I saw was kind of white, off-whitish. And man, I fell in love with that sweater the second I saw it. And it was in my queue for like 10, 11 years before I finally got around to knitting it. And I'm so glad I did, because it is just a lovely, yummy, comfortable, very special sweater. I did knit the collar twice, not 4 times, twice. I knit it twice because after the first knit, I have fairly square, broadish shoulders, and I just find when I knit wide collars, I forget sometimes that I need them to be a little bit bigger so that I've got some room for them to come around. So the first iteration, which you can see up here, the collar was felt a little skimpy, like it kept kind of creeping up around my neck and flipping up on the edges because it was just a little too not enough collar. So I removed it because it's sewn on. I removed it, ripped it back, and what I did, the collar starts from the outside edge. So I started knitting it on needles 2 sizes bigger than the size that it finishes at around the neckline, which is a 4.5. So I started it on 5.5 on the outside edge, and then I gradually changed to a 5, and then I changed to a 4.5, so that the outside edge of the half moon, that is the collar, was a bigger circumference, and then gradually went down so that it would fit back into the neckline on the original size needles at the original size gauge. Yeah, so there you go. It's now my Christmas sweater. It will be for some time to come, I'm sure. And I'll put a link to Carol Sunday's pattern down below and to my Ravelry page so you can go have a look. Not that there's much on my page that I haven't already told you, but in case you forget all the details and you want to go look, the link will be there. So there we are. Okay, let's move on to whips. I don't have a lot to talk about in whips today, and do you want to know why? I don't have a lot to talk about in whips, shaken, stirred, and served up, because as of last time, episode 8, I only have 2 left. I only had 2 left, and one of them is finished. Ta-da! Here's the library blanket. Done like dinner, folks. Look at that sucker. Isn't it gorgeous? It's just, I'm just gonna wrap myself in it so you can get a good look at how spesh this is. Like, nice. Hey, look at that. It's awesome. I mean, it's so awesome. And covered in dog fur, as I said it would be. Thanks, Oscar. It just, I think this would look good, like, in pretty much everybody's living room. Like, I think you could take this blanket in exactly the colors that I've knitted in and put it in almost anybody's environment, and it would look great. We happen to have a big, almost white leather sofa in our living room with a lot of gray and beige and a kind of red and black carpet. So this is just going to be like the, aside from the carpet, the big pop of color in the room. So yeah, it's going to be great. And I know people are going to love to snuggle up in it. Anyway, it is done. It has been in the works since, well, it's it's almost done. Like I have just a few of the bazillion ends that still need to be woven in here, but this is like 5 minutes work to weave the rest of these ends in. Anyway, I started this like right around the time that COVID kicked in and everybody was in lockdown, and we were doing all our meetings for months at home on Zoom. And because this is just good old garter stitch without a whole lot of color changes and fiddliness going on, I could just kind of be down here with my camera, with my hands like down out of sight, just knitting away. So I started it then. And then of course, you know, within months we were back in the office in person, and you know, I was kind of back and forth on Zoom, but over time it just got to be like less and less time sitting in front of a camera in a meeting where I wasn't the note taker, and so it kind of sat for a really long time and didn't have much going on. So I'm really happy that I took on this Finish All Your Projects business back in September, because now I have finished this yummy Pearl Soho library blanket, and I have this giant squishy blanket. So hurrah, there we go. Okay, and now ladies and gentlemen and people and folks and makers of all varieties, I am down to my last whip. And here it is. Oh, yeah. So we can, here was the original list. We can strike the Pearl Soho Library blanket off that list. And now one left, and that is the sampler. So I've got all 3 pieces of the front and the back done. I have joined them at the shoulder with a 3 needle bind off. I have done a garter stitch V-neck. This pattern did not come. Did I bring the pattern up? Tell me I did. Yes, I did. This pattern did not have a V-neck. I built a V-neck into it. It was a crew neck. I am inclined to build crew necks into V-necks. Anyway, this was the original pattern. There was a crew neck, a ribbed, just a plain old ribbed crew neck. I decided, you know, there's a fair bit, there's all these garter stitch little sections in between the segments. There's these rows of garter stitch. So I thought, like, why isn't the finishing garter stitch? All the other edges start and finish with a few rows of garter stitch, so it didn't make sense to me. So I did a V-neck garter stitch edge. This is not blocked yet, so it's all a bit wonky. And right, yes, front and backs done. And I am this far through the first sleeve. Whoa. This far through the first sleevey. So yeah, I'm on Sleeve Island. I'm not going to declare myself stranded on Sleeve Island because I am actively working on this. I want this finished because I am ready to cast on something new. And thank you to all of you who got your vote in on episode 8. The overwhelming response was that I should start with Smoke Show. So here's the link to episode 8 up here. You can go check that out. Smoke Show is a little buttoned up vest by Thea Coleman. I already have the yarn. I've already done the swatch. I'm entirely ready to go on that one and dying to cast it on. So thank you so much for picking up on my my so subtle hints. That was the one I really wanted to do. And that's the one I'll be starting with. At least that will be the cast on for me that I will start with. I do have a baby sweater for a very cute baby in my life. And I have my grandson's dinosaur sweater that I want to get started on as well. And I haven't talked about the baby sweater before, but we'll pick up on that after I cast it on. I'll chat about that one a bit. I did talk about my grandson's dinosaur sweater in episode 8, so you can go check that out and see what that is going to be about. And otherwise, that's it. 1 whip, 1 FO, and people, I am almost there. It's so great. It's such an amazing feeling, I gotta tell you. I will encourage you. I know for some people it's a non-starter, like, you know, not casting on, like finishing all my projects and not casting on. Are you nuts? And I hear you. I would have completely agreed with you had I not done this. I would have completely agreed with you, but I will say that it really has changed my ability, forcing myself to have this kind of knitting discipline has changed my ability to stay focused on one project and not just want to, you know, like squirrel, go dive over and cast this on, squirrel, go dive over and cast this on, because that's what I have been inclined to do. And that's how one ends up with 12 whips sitting there and, you know, the urge to cast on something else. Well, those are all sitting there. So I'm not going to say that I'm not going to have multiple whips going at a time in the future. I will. However, I'm not going to have like 10 or more going at any given time. I'm going to try and keep it down to maybe 3 or 4 and kind of, you know, start and complete things on a faster rotation and really stay focused on what I absolutely want to knit and get finished in a particular time period. Okay, enough of that. Let's move on, shall we? Let's now talk about Under the Knitfluence and see. I don't have a ton of new stuff to show you because I have not been yarn shopping, and Christmas is coming, so I have not been like buying up new stuff for myself because it's almost Christmas, right? Pardon me. Oh boy, that is a tasty drink. It could use some shaved ice. Note to self. Add shaved ice next time. Yeah, so I don't have a lot of stuff, a lot of new acquisitions to show you because I haven't really been shopping very much, but I have a couple of things. So one is, I was watching the Grocery Girls, I guess about a month ago, and Jody Brown, who is one of the Grocery Girls, dyes yarn, and she also makes bags. So she like photographs her yarn colorways, has it printed on fabric, and then turns them into these amazing bags. Well, she held up this one in totally Nicole Blue and I was like 2 seconds later on the internet ordering this bag, and boy, I gotta tell you, this bag is like they're just incredibly well made. Now it's just a big giant pocket inside, but light colored lining, just plain old muslin lining, everything's visible inside. I think they called these knit night bags, so you could like toss your project and your water and your cookies and like whatever else you need to take to knit night. Your sippy cup full of wine, like whatever you're digging, you can toss it all in there. And it's got these big deep outside pockets on both sides. Whoops, boy, almost knocked over my cocktail. Whoa. And a very sturdy canvas bottom and a zipper with a turquoise leather pull cord on the top. So there you be, and some great what do you call them, handles, webbing, some nice canvasy webbing handles. So, fantastic bag. Highly recommend these bags. You know, if you want someone to get you a last minute Christmas gift, or you want to get yourself a last minute Christmas gift, or you didn't get what you wanted for Christmas, I would recommend this. Link will be below in the description if you're looking for that. And what else did I get? I ordered, okay, remember I was talking about the thread and maple project, the leather project folders. I have one here. Hang on. I have it. I'll show you, just as a reminder. So I had got this special colorway pink one in my breast cancer bundle, made by Thread and Maple. Came from, I ordered it from the Grocery Girls. They were in collaboration with Thread and Maple and Louie and Lola in Australia. And they made this bundle of yarn and accessories and fun things as a fundraiser for breast cancer back in October. And I ordered one. So I got this, and this is a little project page with lots of pockets. There's a zip pocket for stitch markers, and I've got, you know, scissors in there, and some crochet hooks for mending and quick crochet things, and needle pockets, and you can put what do you call it, your circular needles, your DPNs in there, and you can fold up a pattern, slip it in there. Anyway, and the whole thing closes up and can go also in, oh, maybe this one can. Oh, this one doesn't have the, oh yeah, there's the hooks. So on this side, I can clip it into my big binder, my project page binder. Not, probably it will never go in there, but it could go in there if I wanted it to. So anyway, I was looking at this, and at the time I said that on Cocoknits, I had seen Cocoknits make up a project one in their, they make lots of products out of a paper canvas. It's like a washable paper canvas. It's really interesting. I have a couple of things made out of it. And they had made like an accordion folder, expandable accordion folder type thing out of the paper canvas that is very much like this, that you can like stuff all your little accessories into and put it in a project bag. And I said I was going to order it and show it to you because it would be a somewhat less expensive version of this, which is leather. So, you know, special and spendy. And I went to the knitting loft and I saw Cocoknits and I was like, yeah, okay, there it is. Yay, order. And it arrived, but I ordered the wrong thing. What I ordered was not, they sent me the right thing. They sent me what I ordered, but what I ordered was not the thing that I wanted. It just kind of looked like it online. And so I just clicked on it and bought it. I should have looked a little closer. So what I ended up getting was the Cocoknits accessory roll, which comes in this lovely box. They do such a good job with their packaging. And this is what it looks like. It comes, here, let me close it back up so you can see. It comes, excuse me. I've only had a couple of sips, I swear. Anyway, it comes like in a roll like this, and it has elastics that hold it together. They give you elastics in different colors in case you want to change the colors, which is kind of fun. There's like a blue turquoise one in there. I might change my elastics to that. So it comes like this. You open it up, take the elastics off, and then it's got 4 of these Toblerone shaped little containers that just open up like that. So you can like tuck the top in and close it up into this Toblerone shaped thing. And you can put your accessories in there and then snap it back onto the outside. Comes up. So, you know, it would hold stitch markers and, you know, short needle tips, DPNs, cable needles if you use those, sewing needles, scissors, like all kinds of little things. Your barber cords, lots of little things could be stored in here, but not row counters because you don't need those, remember? Anyway, I thought it was, it's cute. It's not what I was looking for, but I may keep it. I might give it away. Looks like I spilled coffee on it already, so maybe I'm keeping it. Oh dear. Oh, Nicole. Anyway, yeah. So, and it was like $55 Canadian. $54 Canadian. So I'm still gonna keep my eye out. I'm trying to buy the project folder from a Canadian source, and I've like looked at all my go-to Canadian sources for Cocoknit stuff, and nobody has it yet. If I order it directly from Cocoknits, then you know I've got to buy it in US dollars. I got to pay the exchange. I got to pay the shipping, and I'm sorry, folks, but like shipping from the US for some reason has just gotten quite steep. And I know it's not your fault. It's like, you know, you guys, nobody, none of the sellers, you know, set the shipping prices. It's not their fault. It just is. And so we're paying for shipping also in US dollars. So if shipping is $20 or $25, then you got to tack on another 30% on to that because I'm paying in Canadian money. And then depending on how much I've spent, when something gets to me in Canada, I sometimes have to also add duty and taxes on top of that. So I'm really trying to source things from Canadian sources as much as I can to avoid all of that. So even though things tend to be a little bit more expensive in Canada, in the end, it ends up being cheaper than having things sent up from the States. Next time I travel, I'll just have to stock up like crazy and bring stuff back with me when I can get there in person again. Okay, so oh, one more thing. I downloaded a pattern that I found on Webs from Tacky Yarns. I saw this pattern and I just kind of was intrigued by it. It's a vest in what weight of yarn is it? It's like an Aran weight of yarn. It's knit on size 8 US needles, 5mm needles. But I really liked the texture. And you see the texture of that, the body of that fabric with the contrast edging on it. I just thought it looked kind of classy. It's got a very low armhole, so it's definitely a vest you wear over a shirt. I don't usually go for low armholes like that. I would probably rework it to have a higher, tighter armhole. But I really love the texture of it. So anyway, I downloaded this and thought, you know, I might pop this into my queue and we'll see if we want to get that one knit up sooner rather than later. Although I think once I finish my smoke show vest, I'm going to be so in love with that, I'm never going to want to wear anything else ever again. That's what I think. I'm sticking to it. Okay, that's it today for Under the Knitfluence. And now we can move right into Crochet Cordials. Okay, moving on to Crochet Cordials. Crochet Cordials. No, I don't need to make up songs. Okay, I got a couple of cool things for Crochet Cordials today. One of the things I thought was, I was going through a drawer and I had almost forgotten that I got this super fun crochet kit that I had actually asked Santa for. It was either last year or the year before. I think it was last year. Anyway, it's a kit to crochet all the characters from The Office. How cute is that? From the American version of The Office. And I happen to love The Office. And I just thought it was hilarious, including a Dundee award and the teapot that Jim gives to Pam in one of the Christmas episodes. Anyway, the yarn to make Jim and Pam is included in the kit. And there's a crochet hook that I probably won't use. I'll probably use one of my own. And a book with all the patterns to make all the people, which is so cool. Yeah, so I thought this is a good time when I'm finished in Whipland here to haul this out and start making up some of these little guys, because like, how long can they take? They're only this big. So I think that would be kind of fun to have a mantle with the cast of The Office done in crochet. So I'm looking forward to that. That'll be fun. I like to make little crochet critters and dolls and people and stuff. It's I enjoy that quite a bit. Another thing I got was one of these British magazines. It's called Inside Crochet. And I picked it up because it looked classy. And there were a couple of patterns in here that I quite liked. And one of them was this windswept cardigan, which is crocheted in Drops Air. So that's the windswept cardigan. I like that. I like myself a simple jackety looking collared kind of outerwear cardi. I would wear that. And so there's a good chance that I might crochet that and wear it. You never know. I have raised a couple other potential crochet garment projects, and this is going to go on that list, and we'll see which one I decide to do. And then the other one in here that, oh my god, it's so beautiful. The Festival of Flowers shawl. Look at how gorgeous that is. I absolutely love it. I love the 3D effect of the flowers. I like the way the leaves kind of go on a diagonal across the giant squares. It just looks really fancy, but also very doable in little bits. I think it would be great travel project because you can work on the little flowers and separately. And yeah, anyway, I quite like that. The thing is though, it's absolutely beautiful. I love the colors that it's done in. But would I walk around with this wrapped around me? I don't know. I just don't know that I would. I mean, I love it. It looks so pretty. It looks great on her. I just don't know how practical it is. Well, okay, maybe I have a thought though. Okay, let's think about that, shall we? Because I think my next tutorial is going to be on how I convert triangle shaped shawls into rectangles and then wrap them around and sew them up so they become kind of a throw over poncho thing. Because one of the things I hate about triangle shawls is, of any variety, is I hate styling them. I can't get them to stay in place. I have pins and cuffs and swirly metal things, and like, you name it, I have it for securing them in place. But you know, when you're moving around, you're bending over, you're getting in and out of the car, you're shopping, you're out doing stuff, and they just, even walking around the house, tidying up, cooking, cleaning, like whatever, they don't stay put. They look great as long as you don't move. And as soon as you start moving, they move with you, but they don't stay in place. So I might take a look at this pattern a little more closely. And when I do the tutorial that I'm going to do for the shawl kit that I bought at Knit City back in September, we're gonna look at how to break down the pattern and rework it into a rectangle. Maybe we'll look at this as well. It's a crochet version of how to change change up this crochet pattern. I think it's going to be pretty simple because I can see that it's mostly squares already with some triangle sections. So I just won't do the triangle sections. I can just do all squares and turn it into a big rectangle, right? Should be a piece of cake. All right, so we'll talk about that, but so beautiful. I know already that I'm going to have to convert the instructions because I know that crochet instructions in the UK are a little bit different than in America. Like American or North American double crochets or treble crochets, or like everything's bigger over there for some reason. I don't know. Anyway, I'll figure it out. I have confidence that I can figure that out. And then the other thing I found for Crochet Cordials was this 1 hour Christmas tree. Look at how cute that is. So it's like a little spiral crochet that is somehow like spiraled green with white on top of it, like snow sitting on top of the green. It's so cute. And an hour, I don't know. It might take me longer. I've seen how fast some of these people crochet on TikTok. I do not crochet fast like that. They're just like zoom, 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 zoom. Like they're going so fast pulling that yarn through. I can't crochet that quickly. So it may take me longer than an hour, but I'll let you know. But I just thought those were so cute. So these aren't what I was thinking of for a tutorial, but these might make a good tutorial for next year. I think the designer of this pattern may already have a YouTube tutorial out there, so maybe I don't need to do one. But if I find it and I do this, I'll show it and I'll let you know how to go watch that tutorial. I might do one for myself just for fun. Okay there, that's the end of Crochet Cordials. Now we're going to move on to today's Bartender special, and it is holiday happy hour in the Maker's Lounge today, and the Bartender special is all things Christmas, I guess. Some are definitely Christmas, some are just, one of them anyway, is just holiday. So, look, where should I start? I'm not even sure where to start. Let's start with these. These are some knitted Christmas stockings that I have done. These are two of the oldest projects that I still have. They're like way down near the bottom of my project entries on Ravelry. This one I did in like 2005. It's like 18 years old-ish, something like that. And I just made up this pattern. At that time, did Ravelry even exist in 2005? I'm not sure that it did, actually. I may not have joined until 2007. So maybe like this is pre-Ravelry. Anyway, I made this up. I used a basic sock pattern as my guide and then just added cables. It's my husband equivalent's Christmas sock. I made it for him. He's part Irish, so I wanted to make it like an Aran Irish Christmas sock. I did not write this pattern down. I just made it. I have no notes. I'm sure I could deconstruct it and figure it out and write it down. It's kind of cute. And I don't remember it being very hard. Yep, yeah. It's knit in Aran weight, like traditional Aran weight. I did a fold down cuff in seed stitch at the top and just tacked on a little hanger, and he's been using this as his Christmas sock for 18 years and it still looks like practically brand new. So there you go. That's Christmas project number one. Now a few years later, about 3 years later, I knit myself a Christmas sock. I quite like this pattern. It is called I called it Farewell Christmas Stocking. Christmas Stocking number 1 by Lizabee Designs. And I did this in 2008. So this is a long time ago pattern. It is in Ravelry, so I'll put a link to this, and you can there were I think it was kind of a plug and play pattern, if I recall correctly. Like, you could kind of pick and choose the designs that you wanted and where you wanted to put them. It's knit in a combo of Cascade Heather and a couple of Let Lopi, some very, very coarse Icelandic Let Lopi. And this is not wearable. Like, there's absolutely no way I could wear this yarn. But again, you know, this is a 15-year-old Christmas stocking. I've been using it every year for 15 years, and it still looks like brand new. It's in great shape, even though it gets stuffed full of goodies every year, because Santa really likes to jam the goodies into my Christmas stocking, and it has survived a lot of abuse, and I really love it. Like, I've kind of had no desire to knit myself a new one, because this one is just classy and nice, and it's a keeper. So there you go, a couple of Christmas socks. And then I've made some ornaments. So here's one that I made that I thought looked really cool and would be kind of an easy ornament to make, maybe for gifts and stuff. That turned out to be not true. This is the Snowball Ornament by Pam Powers. I did this in 2016, and I'll put the link below. And it is a mohair blend lace that is actually knit around a ball. So you kind of work it to the middle, and then you have to put it around the ball and then knit it with DPNs, double pointed needles, the rest of the way up with the ball inside it, which I will tell you is annoying and fiddly, and I did not enjoy it. And I was getting like big gaping ladders between the joins, between the needles, because I could not, you know, with the ball kept popping out and flying across the rim, and I just couldn't get the tension. Like, it was so hard to knit around this with the ball in place. So it's pretty. It's got a tiny little sparkly pom-pom. You know, it's pretty. I put it on the tree. It looks nice with the light shining through it. I will never make this again, and I don't recommend it for you either, unless you're some kind of knitting masochist who likes to torture yourself. Then by all means, go for it. But no, this one won't be happening again. Now, one that I did do many, many, many times over was one year, I'm not sure how long ago, 7 or 8 years maybe, someone gave me some of these ornaments, a couple of these ornaments, as a gift. So it's a clear glass, I think is this glass? Yeah, this one's glass. Kind of flat-ish ornament. And then there's a little tiny piece of knitting in there. So there's a little ball and little tiny knitting needles and a little tiny swatch of garter stitch knitting with some sparkle in it. And this one actually has, you know, that blingy stuff you can get now. I know that, what's her name in Vancouver? Crafty Jackalope. She has a bling bar where you can buy this filament yarn with the wee little tiny sequins on it. That's what's on here. I don't know if you can actually see them. Will that focus? Will that focus there? You kind of, can you see those sequins? Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it's trying to look at me. Don't look at me. There we go. There's the little sequins in there. You can buy that, so it wouldn't be all that difficult. Well, actually, they're built right into this yarn. Curious. I wonder. Anyway, it was so cute, and I thought, well, I can replicate that. Come on. So I wasn't able to find those flat balls like that, but I did find round ones. And then for needles, well, that was easy because you can get these, they're called ornate toothpicks, like these fancy wood toothpicks that have like the little bit of woodwork. I'll hide my face. The little bit of woodwork at the top, that so they actually do kind of look like knitting needles. Anyway, I've got a zillion of them. I already made like 22 of these or 25 of these or something. And I just went in my stash and I found some Christmas colored yarn, and I found some lace weight mohair, and I blended them together and knit a little tiny swatch of fabric and rolled up the little ball and stuffed it, like kind of closed it up and stuffed it inside. And they make fantastic ornaments. I gave one to every knitter I knew one year, like 22 people. And it was really fun. So I was thinking this, because there's no pattern for this, at least not one that I found. This might be a good tutorial for next year, like sometime in November. I can do up a tutorial, maybe write up a bit of a PDF or something, we'll see. But you probably don't need it. You could just take a few notes down during the tutorial, and I'll show you how these are made. So you can make them too for Christmas next year. They are pretty fun and very easy. You know, it's little, you're knitting on little tiny, oh, I know what I did. I didn't actually knit. I didn't knit with the toothpicks. I knit with small needles, like, you know, 2mm, 2.5mm needles, something like that. And then I slipped the knitting onto the toothpicks when I was done, because these aren't really designed, like they're so small and hard to hang on to. It's way better to like knit with a real needle and then slide the toothpicks on and stuff them in the ball. Anyway, it was fun. That was fun, and I think it would make a great tutorial for next year. So let's keep that in mind. I will make a note, but if your memory's better than mine, you can remind me when we come around to gift making season next year. Maybe we'll do it in the middle of July or something. Like, that would be kind of cool, wouldn't it? Like a Christmas in July tutorial. I'd like that idea. Let's do that. And then one more thing I had, two more things I have to show you. So I love knitting these little tiny mochi critters. I don't know if you've seen these, but they are tiny and cute. You can buy the little kits for them. There's a gnome, there's a snow person, there's Santa, there's a reindeer, there's another snow person. I've made hedgehogs and kitty cats and an owl and a whole bunch of those. Maybe I'll just keep it up here because it's so cute. A whole bunch of these little tiny mochis. They're knit on wee little teeny tiny, like 2mm DPNs. I normally hate DPNs, but I don't mind using them for these because they go so fast. You know, you're doing like 5 increase rows, and then you knit straight for 5 rows, and then a few decrease rows, and next thing you know, you're done. And then it's just the fiddly kind of finishing and making little scarves. And I love miniature things, and I enjoy these so much. I have a book by because I don't have her name off the top of my head, Anna Hrachevek. This is teeny tiny mochi, and it's just loaded with all kinds of cute things, like all kinds of holiday things, but just general. Like there's a mochi volcano and a forest and a rainbow. You can knit a little tiny mochi rainbow, cacti, a tiny little pink telephone. Like, look, a little mochi mochi telephone. It's just adorable. It's absolutely adorable. Little mermaids, hummingbirds, like, you know, a hot dog, corn, food, eggs. It's all here. It's all here. Whatever tiny thing you want to knit, it's here. And I also have a kit that I have not made yet for a castle, with a bunch of castle inhabitants, kings and queens and princesses and princes and knights and stuff like that. So that is super cute. I've got to get that. I've got to get that in the rotation and made one of these days while the grandkids are still kids, because it's just stinking cute. Okay, and what else? I had something else. Oh yeah, last thing I had last year, I did. I bought an Advent box with yarn in it and a doodle deck of stitch patterns. So the yarn was from West Coast Yarn Co., which is my buddy Rachel, who lives just like 10-minute drive from me, and she makes this gorgeous yarn. She dyes this gorgeous yarn. westcoastyarnco.com. I absolutely adore her yarn. So she dyed the yarn for this Advent last year. And then her friend Jamie, who is Pacific Knit Co. Down in the Seattle area, does the patterns. And she put together a doodle deck, which is like a little card deck. Oh, I'm sorry. I really wanted to have the... Oh, here we go. This is what it looks like. It's like a little card deck of charts, of little charts on cards with the stitch counts, right? Like there's a whole ton of them. I've got a whole deck full of them. And there's the coffee cups with the steam coming out of them. Or maybe those are cauldrons. There's a bunch of different holiday things in here. Anyway, and then it's plug and play. So you decide, you know, which ones you want to put where and in what colors. And so everybody who made it made something slightly different, because they chose to combine different colors and different colorways and different repeats. And anyway, this was my first infinity cowl. So it was my first like cowl that's a tube in a tube, double-sided, squishy, and I absolutely love it. It is just squishy and looks great and delicious. I love it. I just want to knit all my cowls like this from now on, because I love how it, not only is it thick and squishy, but I love how it stands up and you can actually see the design. It doesn't just all squish down and disappear. So you'll see my my own cowl design is the same, an infinity tube, so that it really shows off the pattern well, and it's just warm and delicious, and you don't have to do any shaping to get it to like fold up and stay squishy and warm around your neck. I know I've said the word squishy a zillion times because it just is squishy. Okay, there we go. Take that off, make sure my hair isn't a mess, because Oscar will tell me if it is. Okay, I think that was everything I had on my list. Yep, I'm looking at my notes. Yep. That's everything I had to show you. So thanks for hanging out with me today. That was super fun, and you know, I hope over the next week or so you find an hour of knitting time and like cocktail swilling time, or coffee or tea or whatever it is that floats your boat. And that you could hang out here with me. If you enjoyed yourself today, please give me a Merry Christmas thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button if you want to get notified when I have new content. It'd be great to have you on board. And I hope everyone has a really, truly, and lovely week doing whatever it is you're doing, celebrating whatever it is you're celebrating or not celebrating this coming week. I just hope it's a good week for everybody all around. I hope you have a great holiday, and I will see you next week, either with another episode or a tutorial. I'll see how far I can get on the shawl. If I can get far enough along in my planning for the shawl, maybe we'll have that tutorial next week. So happy holidays, everyone. Happy week. And it was great hanging out with you today. See you soon. Cheers.